Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing good. I know it's been a while, but I just came back from my vacation yesterday. And for some of you guys that don't know, I went to New Zealand for 2 weeks and it was great. I didn't film any of it, but now I'm back and I have something very important, exciting to tell you guys. Alright, so since I've mentioned it multiple times, I've been trying to take YouTube pretty seriously and upload a lot of videos. But with responsibility comes a lot of parts piling up. There's a few right here. There is a lot over here. There's some over here. There's even more and more parts that I've ordered and I expect them to arrive pretty soon. So with all this, I need more storage and more space. Sorry if the lighting is bad. This light just went out like a couple days ago. So it's just like barely light over here and a lot of light on there. So I'm trying to get the best angle for you guys. But as I was saying, I decided to rent out a storage space so that I can just keep most of my car parts over there and not just let them stack in my garage. So I got them gathered all in one spot. So we have all of this, that, and some over there too, and over there as well. So yes, it is a lot, and I hope the storage that I'm renting out will be able to fit all of these. It's time to load the car up. Got my other boxes in, some charge pipes, and my spare wheel in there, and we're ready to go for the first round. Luckily, I got both of my seats in here. As you guys saw, both of the wheels weren't fitting in the trunk, so I'm gonna have to go for 2 rounds instead of the first one. I was hoping I could fit everything at once, but I couldn't. So here it is. I already saw the first batch of parts. Luckily it fits, and I think the second batch will definitely fit. I can just stack on top. I do have all the space. Honestly, this is fine for now. Alright, this time it's a full house. Got everything and a lot in here, and the passenger seat is full too. Hopefully it closes. Perfect. Alright, so I was able to stack all of them, all the parts, and luckily it all fitted. So I do have it stacked on each other, and I just have some parts on the seats as well. Luckily I do have more space right here, that if I do have parts in the future, which I will, I still can store it right here. This is well worth it. And I'm kind of happy that I was able to pull the plug and just go for it and able to rent this out. I definitely needed it. The garage was getting out of hand. I'd rather store a car in the back than have all this laying around the back. You guys can see how much space has cleared up in the back of the garage. I think I can definitely park like my car in here now, like my RSX. The only thing left to do is move this fridge and the car will definitely fit in here. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you an easy way to change your oil instead of paying so much for an oil change. My mom went to dealership this week to get an oil change, and they charged her $87 for an oil change for synthetic oil, which is crazy because I bought this synthetic oil for $32 and the oil filter was only $3 off Amazon. But with that, it's really easy. It literally takes like an hour to do, and that's like the most. I usually do it in like 30 minutes, but since I'm recording, it's probably gonna take more than that. Okay, so my first step will always be checking your oil regularly. Especially if you have an old car, it's always good to just check. It takes like 2 minutes to check. Inside one more time. That's what she said. And then you take it out and you check the oil level. So like right now it is nearly on the low. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's towards the low. But me personally, I'll always change it every 5,000 miles. I know a lot of dealers usually tell their customers to come back every 10,000 miles. I don't know why. Maybe it's the engine's a lot newer than these ones right here. It's always good to change it like every 5,000 miles. It doesn't really affect anything. It doesn't hurt anything. And oil changes are pretty cheap to do as well. If the oil color is anything dark or like brown, like dark brown or even black sometimes, just quickly get rid of that shit and just change it. Alright, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna locate the drain plug, which is right here, and we're gonna get a thing like this that catches the old oil. I got mine from Walmart, and the good thing is that you only have to pay for it once, which is like 10 bucks, and you can just use it as many times as you want because you have to keep changing the oil. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain the entire old oil that's in this engine. We're pretty much gonna let it sit for 30 minutes so that the entire oil comes out. Just make sure you don't drop this like I did, but luckily I picked it up before all the oil gets on here. But if you do end up dropping it, it's a pain in the ass because you have to go find it. It's covered with like bad oil, and like you just gotta put your hand in there and try finding it. Difficult, messy process. Also, if you're wondering what kind of oil you use, it's usually on the oil cap right here. So mine says 5W30, but if you guys are unsure if it doesn't say on there, just Google it. Most likely it will be on there as well. Okay, so next what you do is you locate your oil filter. Mine is right here, but some of them are usually in the back, like my R6 one was on the back down there. Once you locate it, turn anti-clockwise and make sure that the catching pan thing is underneath it. It doesn't really matter what quality you get for the oil filter, but it does matter what kind of oil you use. I usually use synthetic oil for all my cars, just because if you use good oil, helps the engine to last a lot longer and you won't have as many problems, especially with high mileage engines like this. Alright, the old oil filter is out. I'm about to put the new one in, and if you guys notice, it was exactly the same one that I used last time. Alright, before I put the new oil filter in, I usually like to lube it up. So I would get like some oil, put it around the edges. I know this looks a little wrong, but trust me, you don't want to put like a dry oil filter in there and fucks up your engine. The oil filter is back in, and the drain plug is back screwed in. I did wait for about 20 minutes for all the oil to drip out. Just make sure you wipe the oil cap, and a very important thing, I see a lot of people use the same funnel to put in the oil, but just make sure the funnel itself is clean too. What I like doing is like wiping this off, and I like cleaning this part off inside too. 1 MZFE that the Avalon has takes about 5 quarts, and that's exactly how much this thing is. Next, what you can do is you can just check how much oil there is inside the engine and how much you put. It's very close to the maximum line. I don't know if it can focus, but I'm gonna let it try. It's literally on the F, which is the full sign. And it's a fresh new batch of oil. And at the end, what I like doing is I just like starting up the car and just double checking if anything is leaking, so that I can quickly fix it right now rather than having a whole other problem later on. Yeah, there seems to be no leaks underneath, which is good.